today is going to be a really fun day because one of our partners is here today. And this is going to be something we're going to be doing on a semi-recurring basis. We haven't really figured out what that's going to look like just yet. And if I didn't get a chance to say hi to you, don't worry. I'm still going to say hi to a bunch of people here, but I do want to say hi to our friend Ferdinand Mellinger. Ferdinand, good morning.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Chris. Excited to be here, man.
Dude, I'm so stoked that you're here. So, for those of you who don't know Ferdinand, let me introduce him real quick. So, Ferdinand, that's a very handsome picture of Ferdinand right there. Ferdinand was a foundational member of the original Backrub team that later evolved into Google. He's notable in his expertise in data structuring and algorithm development. His significant role in decoding complex data into code paved the way for creating Google's influential search algorithm. So Ferdinand, I got to say, I am super stoked that you are here because, dude, you are a rock star. We just get the opportunity to hang out every once in a while. So
man, we haven't had a chance, man. We're always in meetings. We're always in talking about what's going on.
I know. So Ferdinand's been part of our team for a couple years now over at OVTLYR. And as you guys know, it is starting to really grow and really take off. And it's because of people like Ferdinand, people like Mark and Mahesh, who are creating these incredible algorithms. And I'm just the dancing monkey who gets to tell you all about it. That's basically what
you get the word out, man. We're very thankful for you.
No. But the first thing that I want to talk about today, Ferdinand, is the tariffs, right? The market's getting destroyed, right? It looks like down 3.64% on the SPY. Right. Basically everything on my watch list is bloody red, except for Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola of all things is going to open up green. I don't know why, but it is, right? And that's trending higher and has been for a while.
That's odd. I wonder.
Yeah. Well, you tell me, man, what are your opinions on these tariffs?
I'm probably going to get some hate for this. But what else are we supposed to do as Americans? I mean, what I don't understand in a sense is, okay, so we have tariffs that are put on us, but yet when we put tariffs on somebody else, so it's a big uproar. So I don't really understand that. I get it. It's messing with the market. And things are like, I have meetings with some other partners and things are just changing across the board right now. People weren't really prepared for any of this. They didn't expect this to happen. It's causing he's doing something to help us out. I think this is my personal opinion. I think he's doing something to help GDP in a general basis. It's going to be like a bloodbath. Yeah, it's going to happen. I mean, we're seeing what's going on right now. I think it's just being smart, diversification, like you said, being in cash. This should be, for the next, I would think 6 months or so, this should be going on. I can't see this like rebounding and we're all going to make a bunch of money. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just being smart right now and diversifying. I pulled stuff out. I liquidated some things, and as you know, I liquidated quite a few things. But I just have to. You have to be smart, man. This is like you were saying. You see it in the chart. You see what's going on. You just you have to be smart and see that something's on the horizon. We all see that right now. Just be smart for your own family and with your own finances. Don't be stupid. You're kind of muted, Chris. Can't hear
you. How unprofessional of me.
That's all right, man.
I'm a bit surprised that Trump's taking these tactics because he, of all people, right, he wants to feed his ego. And politics aside, Trump is a numbers kind of guy. He wants to point to the scoreboard and say, see, I did that. See, my name is on the building. See, all of this is because of me. And I'm very surprised by that, right? I would consider that so Ferdinand, I gotta tell you, there was the second time I blew up my account was in 2016. And it was the election night between Trump and Hillary. And I remember Hillary was expected to win that night. And I had loaded up my full portfolio in what's called a call ratio backspread. So I'm about to get real nerdy on you real quick. Hang on.
That's all right. I love it.
Ratio backspread. So I thought I was a genius at this time because the call ratio backspread is interesting because imagine this is the current price, right? The current price being the bottom of this valley right here. You can see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So imagine that's the current price. And I went to bed seeing dollar signs in my eyes because that night imagine this is current price. I don't know what it was. Let's just say it was like 250 on the SPY. Okay. Let's say it was 250. Hillary was expected to win at that time, and you might remember that. This is 2016.
I do.
So it's
I
ancient
remember that
history
night
for most
very
people.
well.
Hillary was expected to win. And so I had set this trade up so that if the market went up after this point, which was the consensus, that if Hillary wins, the stock market goes up, that I would be making bank. And if the market went down, which was expected to happen if Trump wins, then I would make, I don't know, let's say over here I could have made, let's just use round numbers here. I could have made 10 grand on this side, and I might have made 3 grand on this side, right? Just for round numbers here. Well, what happened was that night when I went to bed, the market was lock limit down. Ferdinand, I'd never even seen lock limit down before. I didn't know what that meant before that night. And that was pretty much what happened last night too. So the market could not go further down. So I went to bed thinking, all right, cool. I'm going to wake up with some dollars in my account. All is going to be good. So this is on Tuesday. And the trade was expected to close, or the trade expired on Friday. So on Friday, this trade is over. Okay. That you can't do anything about it. And that's the thing with options. So I was like, oh, all is going to be good. I'm going to make some money by the time I wake up in the morning. Well, the next day I woke up, and not only was the market down, I'm sorry, it wasn't down anymore. It was actually up. And it went up basically for the next 4 years after that point, once Trump was in office. But the problem was that I had my trade set to close on Friday. And because of this, I didn't know what I was doing. I thought it was a genius at the time, but I had no idea what I was doing. And every day that it went by from Tuesday to Friday, it was moving up and moving up. And hour by hour, it was moving up. But hour by hour, my account balance was evaporating. And little by little, I went from having, a potential 10K payout to like my account was basically done within 3 days. I had just watched everything evaporate. And that was the thing, is that I had the right trade. I absolutely had the right trade. I just had the wrong time frame, and it totally destroyed me. So
now let me ask you this. When that happened, when you saw your, because I think we've all gone through this, when you saw your account and it settled and like the reality, and you had to accept it, not like, is that really true? Is that really what's going on? But when you accept it, were you, was it more of an emotional like roller coaster, like, oh man, I just totally messed up? Or did you not have so much in to where you were okay and you could just kind of bounce back?
Oh no, I had really messed up. I was out for 6 months after that. Like it was devastating. Like and at that time I put a lot of onus on, like, if I was a winning if I won trades and I was a winning person, right? Put a lot of self-worth tied up in these kind of things. But I didn't have any risk management. I didn't have any plan, and I certainly didn't know what I was doing with a trade that was going to expire in 3 days later. So yeah, that was really
sorry for that, man.
No, but that's okay. But to that point, Trump would look at this and he'd be like, "You're a loser. I can't believe you do this. I am tremendous. Everything in America is amazing. This is going to be huge," right? I thought my trade was going to be huge.
You win you lose very huge.
That did not work out. And now people are sitting on the other end of it, right? Trump's second term. And they're looking at the situation like, I am getting absolutely monkey hammered to death by Trump these days, right?
Yes.
First he comes in, he's cutting all these jobs. Next he comes in and he's taking the stock market down. And it's like, did I really vote for this? I bet a lot of people are thinking that.
Right. That's what, I know. And I know. I hear it from my wife all the time. She's like, you voted for this. I was like, I didn't think I was, but I just got to deal with it. It is what it is. Like with you, I just like I think in the last like month and a half, I've lost like 40K with trading, being stupid. But it's crypto. So you just charge it to the game and
so Ferdinand loves to trade crypto. Tell me what you look at for crypto, because like we were having this conversation yesterday about OVTLYR 3.0 coming out, and Mark was showing us the charts, and there was this one buy signal on Tesla that was like the bottom of the chart right there, and it went up immediately after that.
Right.
And I looked at him and I'm like, I could never take that buy signal because I'd be buying the dip. And Ferdinand's like, you don't buy the dip? That's how you make money. And I was like, okay. Tell me all about this.
So I've been in crypto for years, ever since like 2013. Well, I made a mistake. Let me put it this way. I made a mistake in 2013. My buddy called me up and he was like, dude, just put some money into Bitcoin. He was begging me. And was at a time I was building, like when you're building wealth, you don't have it. You're just trying to build. So I was building. I didn't really have any extra. I had like mortgage and all these bills, but I didn't have extra, so I couldn't really put anything in. Um, so he did, and it was like 4 months later, I saw him at a event, like a mastermind event, and he he had made $23 million overnight when Bitcoin hit. So from
Whoa.
that, I kicked myself, and then I got into Doge years later, and then killed it with Doge. So much to the fact that I didn't believe the account. I thought like I thought like it was some fraud thing going on in my account, so I was scared to touch it. So like for like 6 months, I didn't touch my Doge account, and then finally I tried a little bit to deposit it into my account, and it worked. And the next day I tried a little bit more, and it worked. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. So that's when I really started getting into crypto. So crypto is different in a lot of senses because there's ways to make really quick cash, like with memes. But then there's ways where like you want to hold, like with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano. You hold those for a while because they're going to go up in value. But yeah, I have stock. Don't get me wrong. I have tons of stock. We have stock, but I just don't. So it's like an ETF. I don't do anything with it. I don't pay any attention to it. I just let it do its thing, and then do my crypto every day. I'm trading crypto like daily. I have some stuff in the market right now that I'm waiting on. I think I'm up like $167 for what I traded this morning. But it's just those are the quick trades to just make really quick money. So crypto's really cool. I'm learning more stock from you. Like when I listen to you guys and Mahesh and Mark, like I'm learning more stock, but I need to really get comfortable with it like I am with crypto to really put like, $10,000, $20,000 in and let it roll. But yeah, it's one of the things. Hopefully, once we update the system and we get into the crypto aspect of things, then we can start talking more about it. But that's one thing I'm really excited for OVTLYR about is getting involved with crypto. I know it's a ways away, but and I may be hinting at things I'm not supposed to. So I
No, that's good.
apologize about that.
So when you look at crypto, like explain to me what a meme coin is versus like a Bitcoin. Like what is that?
So
Is that even a real thing?
memes are just it's like gambling, bro. Like memes are just it's a gamble. To keep it real, like memes are just like like a gambling machine. It's like you're going to Vegas. If you gamble with the right team that's behind the meme coin, and let's say there's some utility behind it, then you're going to win. The majority of time, these are rug pulls, which means you get in and then you're thinking you're going to make a bunch of money, and then all of a sudden you just see the red just drop all the way down within a second, and then you're out whatever you put in. So it's a lot of emotional roller coasters with people if you don't know what you're doing. But memes are just it's think of memes as almost like kind of like a gamble. You're putting money into a slot machine. If it's a good slot machine that people are being paid from, you can make a lot. I think the other day I made 15. I put in probably like 400, let's say like $427, and then I made 15 grand off of it, like 14,500. That I made from that trade alone. Now, I had another one where I had put in quite a bit, and I was thinking it was going to be a massive payout, and then it just dropped right in front of me. So it's a gamble. Memes are gambles. Crypto is not. Crypto, there's extreme. Like let's take XRP for example, which is everywhere right now. Everybody's hearing about it. I personally think XRP is going to take the place of Swift. The Swift system. It's just faster. It's quicker. It's cheaper. Everybody's incorporating it. You're seeing so many contracts between J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They're all signing contracts with XRP to have Ripple, do everything across the board. So that's the memes, gambling, XRP, Ripple. That's going to be extremely long term, and that's where I think you don't see a bunch of people going around with a bunch of cash in their pocket anymore. It's dirty. You've got to hold it somewhere. So you get into digital currency, and that's what I really think XRP I think will replace something almost like a digital dollar. It's just more convenient. It's going to take a lot of time to be accepted, of course. it's new to a lot of people. I've been holding it for probably the last 5 or 6 years, ever since it was like, I think 0.001 cents is when I bought in. But yeah, that, and then like Cardano and then Ethereum and Bitcoin, Bitcoin's like gold, that's when you think of it across the board. It's like you get Bitcoin's like gold, XRP is kind of like cash. So you just kind of have to look at what's behind that specific utility. Then you've got like some crypto that's going into AI. So you've got like AI, and that's another meme is like AI 16X or AI 16Z. That's going to be around for a long time. But you look at the team behind it. What are they doing? What are they trying to do? What utility are they trying to build behind this, let's say, crypto or meme coin? So it's a lot of research. And if you do the right research and you look in the right places and you see the team that's behind it and you see who's backing it, then you can make money. If it's a bunch of guys in a garage that are just making meme coins, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the difference, if that makes any sense.
Well, it's funny you said that. You don't really see people carrying around cash anymore. There have been a couple times in my life where I needed cash and I didn't have some. And so one example that I had was I took my son to the USS Lexington in Corpus Christi, Texas, and that's a decommissioned aircraft carrier. But what's really cool about it is the barracks inside of the aircraft carrier are a Boy Scout camp. I just thought that was the neatest thing in the world, right? So we get there and we're doing the whole Boy Scout camp thing, and we needed $10 cash to do this activity. And I didn't have any, right? Because I didn't carry cash at the time.
Right.
Like, who needs cash? And they had an ATM there on the ship, but the ATM was broken. And so I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, boys, we can't do this. And another dad came over and gave us $10 so we could do it. And man, I tell you what, that was one of my moments where I'm like, I have failed as a father. I am not going to let any other dad pay for my kids to do this activity. So from that moment on, I always carry cash in my pocket. But then there are other times where I go to pay cash somewhere and they're like, oh, we don't take cash, card only. And I'm like,
right.
Do you not understand that this is United States American currency? This is the most valuable paper in the entire world, and you won't take it? Right. I don't know. I get offended when that happens.
It's, we live, I'm in Washington, so we live around a lot of parks. And there's a new law that even went into effect out here. That's like, you can't take cash to the parks, to any local, government park, trails that you're going to hike. They're not taking cash. They don't take cash anymore. There's no cash registers. There's nothing there. So it's like, you have to, you use your phone, to do the tap or whatever. But that, and then interesting enough, it's probably about 3 years ago, maybe 4, I went into the bank and I had been hearing some rumors traveling around about the coins being, they were like decommissioning coins. So like they weren't giving as much change to banks. So I was like, this is interesting. Let me ask a question, because I had a friend that owned some laundromats, and I was like, how do you cash everything out? And he was like, well, I tried to cash in my quarters the other day, and they wanted to keep the change, but they didn't want to give me any change back. And they were holding all of his change. And I was like, that's weird. So I went to my banker and I said, what's going on with the change? Like, do you guys give out like quarters? And she was like, no, we don't get that in the banks, like what they bring to them. They're not giving them the coins anymore. So the banks don't even have the coins to distribute to customers anymore, which is interesting. Like, when's the last time you got 50 cents from your teller? When's the last time you got any type of like 10 cents, 50 cents, like pennies? You don't really see that anymore. So my personal opinion is that I think there's a big shift going on right now. You look at Rosie Rios and how she's associated with XRP and the position Gary Gensler and all these people that they've had these meetings with in the SEC, and you're watching everything. And it's just, like you're saying with the market, it just leaves a trail of hints. And if you can pick up on the hints, you're going to be okay. So I again, don't take it for, as the Bible, but I really feel that XRP will be one of the main players within our system. I think that's what's going on right now with Trump and the whole Bitcoin reserve and the crypto reserve. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't even know about, we don't hear about. But if you look at different news outlets, you're like, whoa, something big is happening right now. Like, there's some big changes, some shifts going on. And maybe that's what these tariffs are leading into. I don't know. I know it's painful for a lot of people right now, but there's got to be something at the end of this, right? I mean, right?
Yeah. There was a couple of comments. Let me scroll up and put them up on the screen here. Scandinavian Aviator says a trade war has no winners, only losers. But then Bjorn says, as a European, I think it's common sense that tariffs should go both ways.
Yeah, right.
Dude, that's kind of where my head is at. And
Right.
I mean, I don't hang on. Let's see if we can pull up the list of tariffs over here while we're talking. But it's like these, even on the list, the hang on, I don't know if I can find it that quickly. Hang on. Tariffs
I'm looking at
list.
them right now too.
The full list of tariffs. Let's see. Oh, here we go.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy.
Bro, it's
and it's like a 10% minimum.
Minimum. That's
Yeah,
like the baseline.
but you know, if the one that I saw yesterday, yeah, this one right here, it was showing how. Here we go, a decent picture. I don't know if this is going to stay, but the U.S. is charged by China a 67% tariff.
That's what I'm
so we're going to charge
right
them
there.
a 34% tariff.
And why is that wrong?
I don't know.
I don't understand. That's why I don't understand. Why are we getting the heat as Americans for doing the same thing that's done to us? I don't understand that. I mean, yeah, it's jacking things up for us right now, but it's because we haven't done it. It's never been done before. And I think, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not in government and politics. If I was, I'd probably have a position over there. But it's like, if something's done to you, why can't you do the same thing? So look at all the tariffs we're paying as it is right now. But yet when we charge tariffs back, which isn't the same percentage that they're charging us, literally almost like half.
Yeah,
and then we get
half. Yeah,
right, and then you get monkey hammered. We're getting monkey hammered because we want to charge. We want some tariffs. So I don't understand it.
I think maybe a lot of it has to do with we just get so used to low priced goods here in the US.
That's it. That's got to be.
That, you know, where these people are getting their sourcing their products from, like that, they're going to immediately add a 34% increase in price immediately to make up for that, which super sucks as us, as our, you know, as consumers. And that's why a lot of these stocks are hit right here, right? Like Nike. I saw Nike was going to get dominated this morning, down 13% in pre-market trading, going to be down around 56, because a lot of their labor, a lot of their materials and everything else come from China. And so it's going to be around $56 or so right there, right? A huge move down because of this 34% tariff right here. But then does that mean that everybody's going to have to pay 34% more for their Jordans? I don't know, probably. I don't know how this works out in the favor of the U.S. consumer. I really don't know. This doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I right now it's such a we're in this like kind of what's the word I'm looking for? We're kind of like in this can't think of it, like this zone of like unknowingness. Seems like we're just trying to balance and just keep things alive. And I mean, it's not just us here. Like I'm hearing it across the board, no matter who I talk to, that are just they're getting hammered right now, every which way but sideways. Like whether it's a captain of industry or whether it's just someone who's, you know, just a regular worker, but everybody right now is getting smashed, which I would never have imagined. I never would have even thought this would have happened. This is not the way I envisioned it when I was going to the voting booth. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's a really good point, right? I mean, if Trump had come out and said, you know, all of your products from China, that, you know, pretty much everything in my eyesight probably came from China. Everything in my eyesight is going to cost 34% more because of tariffs we're going to levy. There's no way people would have voted for him. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Yeah, so, you're right. You're right. And you know what's funny is even across the board, let's say in some of my other businesses that I have, well, one that I just shut down that I was telling you guys about, but with the orders that we had, because we had a lot of things coming in from China, that caused a massive backup with that company because of the issues Trump had with China. So they weren't shipping anything out. So it stalled everything at the ports to where they weren't even shipping supplies to us anymore because of the relationship that was going on with Trump. So I don't think people even realize too that there's a underlying factor of personal opinions that are going on, that let's say if you have sources that are coming from China that you get your products from, or you're getting sourced from, you may not even get that because they have this personal opinion. They're just not going to ship it out to you. And that's what happened to us. We had a lot of product that just was not going to the ports, wasn't going to make it. So it's affecting things across the board, not only just within the markets, but also with people. Let's say a company that needs to have that has a vendor that's over in China, and they're not be able to get things because of what's going on. So I don't think that's even being mentioned in the news. I don't think people know about that, but I know that firsthand from that happening to us, and that started about a month and a half ago. So it's across the board, man. It's across the board.
Yeah. So where do you think we go from here, right? Do you think the market's going to have a... Now, I know you're not so much into stocks like we are, but like I hear a lot of commentators on the internets, right? A lot of YouTubers who are saying buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And you know, unfortunately, we don't know where the dip will stop. We'll know when it stops. You know, we will apply the outlier trend template and know when it stopped. But I saw Tom Lee. I don't know why Tom Lee is such a big like capture for hang on, let me show you Tom Lee. So Tom Lee is the CEO of Fundstrat, I believe, but like he is such a clickbait type person. And all the YouTube videos these days are like, Tom Lee is calling for a V-shaped recovery. Tom Lee says everything's going to go back up immediately. As fast as it went down is as fast as it's going to go up. Dude, I'm looking at this like, we don't actually have any idea of how far it's going to go down, right? We have no idea whatsoever. In fact, I like to do this comparison to COVID. So I'll pull up a multi-chart symbol here. And what we'll do is we'll put COVID on the left-hand side and we'll put today on the right-hand side. And I got a lot of flack for this in the past. They're like, COVID and what's going on with tariffs are completely different. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They are completely different. But price is still all that pays, okay? So if we're down, how far are we down? Top to bottom right now, before today's open, about 9.5%. That's like 9.5%. We're like this far deep. We're only this deep compared to COVID, right? So I'm telling you, we could go a lot further down.
Yeah,
we have gone a lot further down, not all that long ago. It's still fresh in a lot of people's minds. And
that's interesting.
I know, right? Here's the funny part, though.
Wow.
If you're buying the dip here, right? If you're buying the dip here, how long does it take for you to get back to even? Well, this would be February 27th of 2020. To get back to break even, June. So you've got basically 4 months of pulling out your hair, hoping and praying everything comes back up. Or you could wait till you get to the other side, which is what I tell everybody. And it's, you know,
it's going up.
Start selecting your positions over here. Buy the dip, but buy the dip on this side. And you're going to be up 7-8% before that person's just getting back to break even. Right. So there's no rush. There's no rush into anything at this point. Because we really have no idea just how deep this can get. So
let me ask you this, Chris, to cut in really quick. Because in this, I may be pushing this like we maybe shouldn't be talking about this, but I'm just curious from Outlier 3.0 and then the new signals that we know about that are coming. What's your prediction for these types of situations of what Outlier is going to do for people? With seeing the new signals.
Yeah,
the new signals that we were talking about yesterday.
So this is the only new signal image that I have so far. And so this is what I was talking about earlier, the buy the dip on Tesla right here, December of 2022. Like I could never pull the trigger on that because it's going down.
See, but that's where I pull the trigger.
This buy signal over here, totally. I could totally buy this single over here.
Because you've got the support coming in. I get it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I like to show this behind it, right? So this is really how the market works, right? And it's in crypto, it's in everything, right? When someone's like, did he say buy? Buy? Everybody's screaming, we got to buy today, right? And somebody says, I've got a stock here that could really excel. So did he say sell? Everybody starts selling, right? And it's just a thing over and over and over. And so that's what leads to the market cycle right here. Now, I'd hate to think that the S&P 500 is on this side of the market cycle.
Oh, gosh.
But there are a lot of stocks that are, right? We could, oh man, I can show you a dozen at least, right? We can do Tesla. Look at this. Tesla did the entire market cycle all the way up and all the way down, right? You've been in the optometrist. You've seen when they go, is it better 1 or 2? 1 or 2. That's exactly that, right? It's exactly that. And it's funny because there's so many different stocks that are at different stages of this, right? You've got your stage 2 uptrend right here. Your stage 3 sideways trend is just like your stage 2 and then your stage 3. And I think a lot of people forgot what risk is. I think a lot of people forgot what risk is, and they're learning today, or at least
they are, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, stocks can go down, right? They can go down. It's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
So Ferdinand, listen, I wanted you to know that I'm really stoked to have you on today, and definitely want to make this a recurring thing in the future, talking about all kinds of different topics out there. So Ferdinand, I want you to know I really appreciate your time, and everybody in the chat, press F to pay respects to Ferdinand, because he is very, very, very well off and does not have to do this.
Oh,
Ferdinand has other things he could be doing this early in the morning.
It's all right, man. Excuse me, everybody's sleeping in my house because I like to get up early because that's the only time I have peace. Otherwise, it's like, can you do this? Can we do this? Can you do that? And I'm glad to be here. Everybody that's a part of your channel and what they're doing for OVTLYR and what you're doing for OVTLYR, bro, you have no idea how amazing it is, and how thankful the OVTLYR team is for all of you. And I don't know if, I'm sure Chris has told you, but all of you on this right now, like, you have no idea how much heartfelt thanks and gratitude we have for all of you guys being a part of this. And you guys will see some amazing things coming soon, like blow your mind away things. So we are very thankful for you guys. And thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ferdinand, thank you so much for your time. All right, and thank you guys for tuning in today. Of course, this was a little different than normal, but I hope that this was useful to you. Don't forget that the way that you can pay me back is just by sharing this with as many people as you possibly can, and also clicking one of these recommended videos that YouTube is about to pop up. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in this afternoon's live stream.